What's up, YouTube? This is Just My Opinion, and I'm back with my boy.
Yeah, John. We did. How many videos did we do? 4?
We've done, at least 4. This might be the 5th one now, and this is a special one. Today we'll be reviewing Mac Miller's Watching Movies with the Sound Off. Mac Miller, of course, the Pittsburgh rapper who just tragically died at the age of 26.
Too young.
It's crazy because we were just talking about this, how one of the first videos that I ever put out on this channel and one of my first collab videos I ever did was with this guy right here.
It's crazy.
In 2016, when I started the channel, we did Mac Miller's The Divine Feminine, and we did talk about that. We wanted to do this review at one point,
and now we're doing it.
And unfortunately, we're doing it under these circumstances. We've both been fans of him for a while now. I know that I grew up on him in college, and I discovered him with his early mixtapes of K.I.D.S, Best Day Ever, making just a lot of very radio-friendly sounding pop rap, laid-back rap, like stoner rap.
Yeah, it's just like
it was just really feel good and fun and chill. He put out Blue Slide Park in 2011. He gained a lot of backlash, had a 1 out of 10 on Pitchfork, and from there he kind of started switching up his sounds and styles. He put out the mixtape Macadelic, which I know you really liked.
I love it.
Then he put this out, and it was a completely different switch up from everything that he had done up until that point. So you could definitely hear from the first track, The Star Room. This started off the album. This definitely was going to be a different album from what we were used to.
Definitely
from Mac Miller.
Flow up.
He was playing with his pitches a lot in this one. He was going high, going low. Definitely a very trippy sounding song. First guitar sounds in it over this like boom bap beat.
Earl
Sweatshirt actually produced this song.
Yeah.
Definitely had a depressed feel to it, but
you could tell by his lyrics.
Yeah, but he still at the same time it was still a good start, a good switch up for him, and a good way to lead off the album and kind of see what we were going to expect. Then after this one we get Avion. This was actually the first track out of many that Mac produced himself on this album.
He's so good at producing.
This song sounded beautiful. The piano plinky melody to it. Again, he was playing with his voice a lot, kind of going in and out of pitches. Still had a very silly tone to it though. He had some funny lines on this one. I'll auction your grandfather's watch from the Holocaust.
Okay, I know.
It's kind of colorful and
it's a good song.
Trippy at the same time, yeah.
I don't think any songs on here were bad.
So the next song is I'm Not Real. This was another slower boom bap sounding song, and this one was the one that featured Earl.
And this, that's when they were doing the weird voice on the deep one, right?
Yes, exactly. Mac's voice was lower. I couldn't even tell at times who was who.
Yeah.
I mean, I could tell like when I know that Earl did the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Earl definitely did the hook, and then I think he had the second verse. I'm pretty sure he had the second verse, but I don't know though because Mac's voice was pitched so low.
They were like the same. They're like a weird combo, but they pull it off so good.
Then we get Somebody Do Something, which was definitely a standout track of mine on here.
Such a hit.
It's
so catchy.
It's such a weird banger. Like the beat is fucking crazy. Produced by Flying Lotus, who is a jazz electronic producer. Who this gained Mac a lot of buzz because people were like, he's working with Flying Lotus. Like Flying Lotus had a big underground following, and so to see Mac doing a song with him caught a lot of people's attention.
I mean, he did it fucking well.
There was a couple funny lines in here that stuck out to me. I was wonder if Christ made $1 million off of selling the cross, putting condoms in cubbies in kindergarten. In case any hoes tried to fuck him.
Savage.
I remember that one.
Savage.
So the next one was Bird Call. This is another up-tempo, kind of weird, kooky banger.
I love the way he flows on it.
Produced by Clams Casino.
Very producer.
Yeah, I love like the bird chanting sounds in there, and there was like tribal sounding drums in there too. But then it switched up on the hook. Again, just another.
This was a nice
silly song
to put after.
Somebody do something.
It was just like kind of similar, and it like played it well.
Because it broke up the monotony of the first 3 songs. It sounded a little bit more serious, so this kind of gave it a little bit more fun. So the next song we get is Matches, which has like a psychedelic trap sound to it. Out of most of the songs on here, this had the most pop sound, most classic Mac sound, I would say, on it.
Like his flow? Like how he was rapping?
No, just as far as like his past production goes.
Oh, gotcha.
But still had the same kind of similar vibe to a lot of these other songs. Still kind of carry that same vibe over.
Well, Ab Soul was kind of like, it was like mellow.
The Ab Soul verse was dope. So then from here we get I Am Who I Am. This is another standout track of mine on it. I absolutely love the production on this.
I love this beat.
The beat was amazing, and the female background vocalist on this one, who did the hook and kind of was just doing the background, kind of her vocals floating in and out, sounded so beautiful. It sounded beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's
it really did. It sounded fucking beautiful. The way he was switching up his flows, I think he rapped faster on this song than I remember him rapping on a lot of his songs ever. The way he was switching up his flows.
No, I know what you mean. I don't remember. Like, when does he rap fast, though?
On this song.
Oh, well, I'm saying besides this.
Well, yeah, I know. He normally does it,
fast
but like, yeah, he was really rapping fast on this one. Then next we get Objects in the Mirror. This one was another one of my favorites, a standout track of mine. This one had a more somber feel to it and had a lot more live instrumentation. This actually was produced by Pharrell, another very high-profile name. The fact that he was singing on this song, the whole song pretty much.
He's good at that stuff.
No, he is. He actually can hold a note pretty well, and just the way that he wrote the instrumentation and everything was really good. The song was very well written. A lot of people kind of take this as like a relationship song or whatever. It's a song actually kind of about his addiction with lean, and he's kind of comparing it to women. And if you listen to the two verses and you listen to the chorus of the song, the first verse he's talking about how he became addicted to lean and what it does for him to kind of calm him. It's always been there for him. And the chorus comes in, wish we could go away, be free, you and me. So it's kind of just like him and lean, his friendship with lean. And the second verse, he's kind of talking about wanting to get away from lean and kind of trying to break away from the addiction. So the chorus is the same after the second verse, but it takes on a completely different meaning. Which I thought was really, really dope the way that he did that.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I did not know.
It's fucking dope as hell. So the next one was Red Dot Music, produced by The Alchemist, featuring Action Bronson, who had a dope-ass verse.
Such a great feature.
This was like the grimiest sounding beat on here.
This combination was fucking fire.
My favorite part of this song, though, to be completely honest with you, is the end when Loaded Lux does like his spoken word thing, where he disses like Mac Miller.
He's talking shit.
Mac Miller put Loaded Lux on his own song to diss him.
That's cool.
But it was done in such a dope ass way, like dissing him with his own song titles and shit. And, like it was so funny, but it was so dope though too. And then after this, it goes into another silly song, G's. Suck My Dick Before I Slap You With It.
Yes, sir.
It wasn't like as chirpy sounding as the other ones, but still kind of had that silly tone to it that some of the other ones had.
I love how this album
it goes from serious to funny to serious to
fun
the
whole time. It's a good way.
But it all works together. And Schoolboy Q
killed it. Anything he's on, him and Mac I love them together.
I love them too. I absolutely love them too, and they're both really good friends with each other too.
Yep.
And you could definitely tell their chemistry together really worked on this song. Then we get Watching Movies. This is one of the hits that came off of this album. Heavier emphasis on trap. It has just a weird melody to it. It's
like a weird movie. Probably the best song on this album, though.
I think this one had a little bit more pop sensibility to it as well.
This was like a radio hit, wasn't it?
It definitely showed versatility for him on this album, though. Being able to kind of just play off of all these different sounds and styles, still have it sound cohesive though at the same time. When I die, I throw a couple bad bitches in my casket. Oh. So the next song we get is Suplexes Inside of Complexes and Duplexes. It's a very tricky title. It is a tongue twister. But I mean, this one's probably my least favorite, to be honest with you, out of all the songs on here.
I don't remember this. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, this was the one that had Jay Electronica on it.
He's good.
A lot of people were really excited over the features. Like, Jay Electronica wasn't doing shit, and all of a sudden he comes out on a Mac Miller album. Beat-wise, this just sounded very circusy and weird, but I think it might have actually sampled the Beatles song, Strawberry Fields Forever, which I love the Beatles. So does Mac. But it's very hard to get a sample cleared for the Beatles. So if it actually was that,
it could have been like similar. Who produced this? Do you know?
Mac produced it.
So then he probably like it was similar. I mean,
yeah, I'm just saying, like that's how much people were fucking with him at the time, like, because how many people could just get a sample cleared from the Beatles? So then from here it gets a little bit more serious. It goes into Remember, another track produced by Mac. This is my favorite produced Mac track on the album. Kind of fits the cloud rap mold that was going on at that time.
Talking about his friend. So it's
it was a very heartfelt song about his friend who passed away.
Yeah.
And you can definitely hear the emotion and hear in the lyrics and everything how it definitely hit him hard. And it actually had a really, really good guitar solo at the end, which I'm pretty sure he did himself. He's actually a really good guitar player.
He plays a lot of instruments.
Yeah, he's a very good musician. We get to Someone Like You, which is my favorite on the album.
Mine too.
Thank you.
Hands down one of the greatest songs. The hook on it, amazing.
Yeah, the hook is dope. The beat to me is so fucking good. It's so
his
good.
His verse.
I love the vocal sample on this one too. Of the girl. Yeah, I thought it sounded so good. To me, the production reminded me of like a leftover from the Wiz album that came out the year before, ONIFC. It had like a similar sound.
I could see that.
And this was produced by the same producers that Wiz got, ID Labs. Then we get Aquarium, which was the last track on that album that was produced by Mac Miller. Another spacey cloud rap style beat with just like random vocal effects floating in the background, kind of a guitar sample, weird sample going on there.
I like how the hook like builds up. You know,
yeah,
like,
absolutely. And it's one of his slower flows on this album too, and then on the hook though he goes a little bit faster and he's like sing rapping. I thought that this would have been a better closer to the album than the song
Claymation
that followed it. No, on the standard edition of the album, the song Euphoria was the one that closed the album out. This one was another one where Mac was singing for the whole song.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I didn't think his singing was bad, and I didn't think that like the actual lyrics and everything, like his delivery was bad. I just didn't really care for the beat and what he was singing over. Production on it was like very hazy and dubsteppy sounding, and I was disappointed because Clam Sacino is one of my favorite producers, and he produced this song. Good. He's fucking amazing. So then there were 3 bonus tracks on the deluxe edition. So the first one was Goosebumps, which was produced by Diplo.
Amazing. I like this song a lot.
Next song was Okay, featuring
it's like a funny
Tyler. Yeah, this one was just like a fun, funny song. He even addressed it on the song too. Tyler sounded like dope as hell on it.
Tyler's when he wants to be good, he can be really good.
Oh, fuck yeah, he can. Yeah, absolutely.
I like them together. They're kind of like a funny duo.
Yeah, absolutely. They both have similar weird personalities, similar sense of humor. The last one was Claymation to close it out. This to me kind of just sounded like a leftover from Macadelic.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad, but it wasn't. To me, it wasn't anything great either.
I like it. It's one of my standouts.
So, in conclusion, for this album, I definitely think that out of all of his studio albums, this was definitely his best one, his most cohesive sounding. It was definitely very chirpy, psychedelic, had a more serious tone to it than a lot of his other music.
For being a new flow, he played this well. Like,
yeah.
I think he did amazing.
It was definitely a great reinvention for himself, and it definitely, from the features, from his rapping, from the people that he got to produce, from him producing a lot of these own songs,
everything.
He definitely wanted to make a mark and kind of have himself be taken more seriously in hip-hop. Overall, for me, I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
If I were going to rate it.
I would give it a 7.5.
7.5 out of 10?
I mean, it's high. Yeah, 7.5. It's up there.
So to close this out, too, I wanted to talk about his legacy a little bit. I wanted to hear your take as far as how you'll remember him and his impact on music.
Dude, he's going to live on forever. He's not like all these other artists. He stands out. He's himself. Like, he's just so good you can't hate the kid. Like, he was one of my favorite artists.
Yeah. I definitely agree. For me personally, as far as his legacy goes, definitely a soundtrack to my college years when he was gaining notoriety. But I think he was one of the very few um, artists where I followed the majority of his career, where you really heard the growth in him. He went from a rapper to an artist, like a true artist, and he just seemed like he was getting better and better with each release that he was putting out, as far as artistically goes. And
I just feel like with every song he put out, you can like just feel what he's going through, you know, because he just explains everything so in detail.
I think just overall, how I'll remember him too, he was definitely a perfectionist with everything that he did. Was a lab rat, was always in the studio, but he was just very, very likable. Everyone enjoyed and loved this guy. Had a great sense of humor, and he just definitely seemed very genuine. Everybody that has spoken highly, everyone spoke so highly of him. His peers all loved and respect him. Old rappers, new rappers, contemporaries.
You can't.
Yeah.
You could just tell what vibe he had, dude. He was so chill.
Yeah, you felt like it felt like you knew him, even though you never actually even met him.
That's true.
So it's a shame that he passed, but his music will definitely live on forever.
For sure.
Rest in peace, Mac. This is just my opinion.
This is John,
and thank you for watching YouTube.